Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of the Rush Hour podcast. We have a very busy day again for you today regarding Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively as the subpoenas are rolling in. This morning on the Rush Hour podcast, we discussed that Blake Lively is trying to get phone records from AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon. Also, Justin will seek information that will prove his. The only problem is that Justin's side is now responding saying, hey, this isn't right. They just want blanket call logs of everything that went down. They'll use this to smear my client.
A fresh twist has emerged in the heated legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Newly released raw footage from the set of It Ends With Us shows an awkward, unscripted, slow dance between the two stars. A clip that Baldoni's team claims proves nothing more than professional improvisation.
Okay, Justin Baldoni is bringing the receipts. And what I mean by that is Justin Baldoni just dropped 10 minutes of unedited footage from It Ends With Us. And this footage seemingly directly negates some of Blake Lively's claims in her harassment lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. At the beginning of the footage, we see Blake and Justin essentially talking about logistics. They're talking about lighting, finding their marks, whether or not they should be talking or just staring at each other.
However, critics argue the video looks increasingly bad for Lively, suggesting it undercuts her narrative of unwanted advances on set.
Called Discovery, where they share all of the information that may prove her case, and also Justin will seek information that will prove his. The only problem is that Justin's side is now responding saying, hey, this isn't right. They just want blanket call logs of everything that went down. They'll use this to smear my client. So I'm going to share what Justin Baldoni had to say, but let's just do a quick refresher of the subpoenas, and then we've got our lawyer friend explaining why they think this is all just PR. So, sending out a series of subpoenas to cell carriers, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, as well as alleged social media manipulator Jed Wallace, the Gossip Girl vet, and Ryan Reynolds want to get a look at the real receipts.
And there are other moments to go like, am I the in the room? Like, what is happening here? I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that like that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
While Lively's legal team insists that every frame corroborates her allegations of inappropriate behavior, Baldoni's camp maintains the exchange was entirely consensual and benign. As both sides gear up for a courtroom showdown, the raw footage is intensifying public debate over who's really telling the truth, leaving fans and industry insiders to wonder which side the evidence will ultimately favor.
Again, I think that was important because Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of acting creepy towards her and how the whole set was super tense all the time. But I don't know, that kind of looked like two co-stars getting along. Moving on to another portion of the video. You know, in her lawsuit, Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of making inappropriate comments about her body, which in his lawsuit, Justin Baldoni countered, saying, actually, no, Blake Lively was the one who made fun of my nose. Roll the tape.
It's so nosy.
I know.
Noses.
And my nose is so big.
Yes. I was hoping that we could address this. It's not too late. Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
God.
The newly released footage shows Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni engaged in a slow-motion dance scene, an intimate moment meant to portray their characters' developing connection. According to Baldoni's team, the video captures an instance of natural, unscripted interaction. The two actors exchange light-hearted banter, and Baldoni even jokingly remarks on Lively's scent by saying, "It smells good," to which Lively responds in kind with a quip about her body makeup. Baldoni's camp insists that the scene was filmed with mutual respect and professionalism, emphasizing that there was no premeditated intent to overstep boundaries.
Like Lively's lawsuit, she accused Justin Baldoni of trying to kiss her without her consent during intimate scenes, and she also accused him of making uncomfortable comments saying that she smelled good.
Let's score another.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting spray tan on you.
Sounds good.
Well, it's not that. It's my body makeup.
And they win! They won!
All right, cut. I think we got plenty.
Yes.
Slow motion.
It's also important to note that earlier on in the footage, Blake and Justin actually agree that they don't want to physically kiss because they want to leave the audience wanting more. And it looks like Justin respected that in that video. Again, obviously this is a receipt from Justin Baldoni's legal team, so of course it's going to paint him in a better light. I think it just once again made this situation that much messier.
However, Lively's legal team has countered these claims with a strong statement. They argue that every frame of the released footage corroborates to the letter her account of the incident. In her lawsuit, Lively alleges that during a similar slow dance scene on set, Baldoni leaned in too close and engaged in behavior that she describes as unwanted and unprofessional.
It's really destroying Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's image, bro.
What happened?
It all revolves around like fake allegations towards Justin Baldoni, right? So Blake Lively's claiming that there were sexual assault allegations towards Justin Baldoni, and Justin's like, I have all the receipts, I have all the videos. So it's just a lot of drama.
Do you think this is fake beef like Drake and Kendrick?
No, because I think that for either one of them, this
just
is
trying to
like
sell the movie.
detrimental to their career. You know what I mean?
But it ends with us. I want to make this very clear. Ryan Reynolds, if you get past this clip of us talking about your relationship, just know, I don't care. I still love you, man.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
love your movies. I love everything you did.
I actually hope things get so complicated and terrible for you guys that you guys break up and then I slide into Blake Lively's life. That's what I hope.
I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man, but he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man. And then she continued, you know, she took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone. And so that's what happens to you, right? You run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy rises up. Now, he didn't do it himself exactly. He hired a badass named Brian Friedman, and he has badass women like me defending him. But slowly but surely, I think the male class is learning down on the floor, squirming and apologizing for being a man is not the way.
According to her complaint, his actions, ranging from repeatedly leaning toward her to making offhand comments, created an uncomfortable environment that she perceives as a form of misconduct. This raw footage, therefore, has become a crucial piece of evidence in the ongoing litigation.
This was a sinister PR move. Blake Lively then moved 11 days later to file a lawsuit. So now she has filed a lawsuit. And I don't think she ever wanted to do this. I think she genuinely wanted this to be a PR move, and she wanted to leak it to the New York Times. She thought the public would take her side with no questions asked. And instead the public is saying, no, we have a few questions here. And Justin Baldoni is going all the way to the wall on this. His lawyer is already giving interviews explaining just how nasty her team has played this. The lawyer's name is Brian Friedman. He stopped by the Megyn Kelly show, and here's some of the things that he had to say. First, he says there used to never be a sexual claim. There never was a sexual claim until she went to that civil rights office. Take a listen.
There was actually no allegation of sexual harassment until the lawsuit was filed.
We're going to be talking all things Blake Lively and her legal complaint that she's filed against her It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Yes, the It Ends With Us movie drama does in fact not end. What's interesting about this story to me is the Justin Baldoni of it all. He is a self-proclaimed male feminist. He's woke. He speaks out against assault and sexual harassment, even toxic masculinity. And now in this legal complaint filed by Blake Lively, he's being accused of sexual harassment.
I challenge you to see if you can use the same qualities that you feel make you a man to go deeper into yourself. And will you be man enough to stand up to other men when you hear locker room talk, when you hear stories of harassment, when you hear your boys talking about grabbing ass or getting her drunk, will you actually stand up and do something so that one day we don't have to live in a world where a woman has to risk everything and come forward to say the words "me too"?
This is gonna be really awkward if these allegations are true. I will say, just for the record, I'm not a fan of either of these individuals, and something about both of them rubs me the wrong way.
Interestingly, the narrative surrounding Lively's on-set behavior is not entirely one-sided. In an old clip from a television appearance, Lively was seen reacting to a remark about her scent in a remarkably composed manner. During that appearance, a host casually told her that she smells good, a comment she took as a compliment rather than a slight. In that instance, Lively's demeanor was relaxed and confident, and she did not appear offended.
Because Anderson Cooper was working for ABC, and when she enters the stage on this talk show or morning show, whatever it was, with Kelly Ripa as well, he says, "Oh, you smell so good."
Stunning Blake Lively.
You smell good.
Incredible.
Thank you so much.
So pretty.
Yeah, he said she smelled good, and she said thank you. She did not sue him for SH for saying that. As we know, she said in the lawsuit that Justin Baldoni had told her that she smelled good, and she felt really uncomfortable with that.
However, the situation seems to have evolved over time. In the same clip, another moment stands in stark contrast. When Lively is asked a pointed question about her wardrobe, her reaction is noticeably more defensive and agitated.
I couldn't find the actual video about that, but I did find this video on Access Hollywood when they're actually discussing it.
And she was there for an important cause, but she was asked what her go-to power outfit is.
All right, she went on to challenge the reporter by asking, would you ask a man that? Should she expect this sort of question?
I think she should expect it, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not as if it was someone else. Blake Lively kind of makes her brand being a fashionista. But a lot of times these celebrities, their reps send out press releases on what they're wearing. Yeah. They want to be asked what they're wearing on the carpet.
The old footage thus serves as a backdrop against which her current claims are measured, highlighting the possibility that the working environment and the behavior exhibited on set may have significantly altered her threshold for what she considers acceptable.
Yes, it's so ridiculous. It's exactly the same thing she said to me. Would you ask a man that question? And I think in this instance, why would you ask a man what his go-to power outfit is? It's not a question for a man. And I think you are allowed to ask, as a woman, questions that fit a man and questions that fit a woman. Should all your questions to all actors and actresses be gender neutral? It's so dumb, and I'm so happy that the panel on Access Hollywood was just shutting this down, saying like, come on.
In a further twist to the saga, another significant development came from behind the scenes at William Morris Endeavor, one of Hollywood's leading talent agencies. On December 21st, 2023, a day that coincided with the public revelation of Blake Lively's lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, Ari Emanuel, the CEO of WME, made a decisive move by firing Baldoni.
They deliver, and They is a new podcast interview on Freakonomics, which is a pretty big podcast, interviewing WME chief Ari Emanuel. That's right. He explains in this podcast that he personally fired Justin Baldoni, says he's ride or die, and says Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are good people. How do you feel about that? How do you like them apples? So the podcast isn't out yet, but there is already articles being written about it. Joe Flint tweeted this. Oh, and no surprise, WME chief Ari Emanuel offered strong support to clients Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in fight with Justin Baldoni during his Freakonomics interview. Noted that WME fired Baldoni and told this reporter, love saying that, outside that Baldoni was despicable.
Emanuel personally dropped Baldoni from WME, labeling his actions on set as despicable. Although the allegations remain fiercely disputed in court, this dramatic dismissal has sent shockwaves through the industry.
Now listen, yeah, if the allegations against Justin Baldoni are true, he would be despicable if he was using his position as a director and producer to creep somebody out and cross boundaries and whatnot, and if he was part of some crazy smear campaign to punish her for seeking the truth, whatever. If all that's true, sure. But there's a lot of answers we don't have yet. And for the WME chief to kind of hitch himself to the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds wagon, what it does is it shows us where the money's being made. And the money's being made with the Ryan Reynolds world, even if he's getting bad press right now. Who is Ari Emanuel? Well, here was an article written about him in 2023. There he is with former and now current President Trump, serving his second non-consecutive terms. And Ari Emanuel, founder of the Endeavor Talent Agency and co-CEO of William Morris Endeavor, is one of Hollywood's most powerful agents, a true legend in the media mecca. Many consider him to be the model for the tyrannical and capricious character of Ari Gold, played by Jeremy Piven in the HBO series Entourage.
Not long after Emanuel's public comments and the subsequent firing, Justin Baldoni's team was quick to respond. Baldoni's legal representatives have defended him vehemently, arguing that Emanuel's remarks are not only unfounded, but are also part of a broader attempt to malign his character. They contend that Baldoni's actions on set were mischaracterized by the media, and that the new footage clearly demonstrates his intent to maintain a professional and respectful working environment.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Baldoni's lawyer stated that the raw footage is being released not to manipulate public opinion, but to establish a factual record of what transpired on set. According to his team, the informal banter captured in the clip is consistent with the natural flow of on-set interactions in many film productions. They argue that the allegations of harassment are a misinterpretation of normal professional behavior, and they maintain that Baldoni has nothing to hide.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer is responding to the Blake Lively lawsuit being made public and speaking on all of the allegations made in it. You guys need to hear what he said because this is absolutely insane. So first, he obviously said that all of the allegations are false and the intent was to publicly hurt and rehash the narrative in the media. But this is where it gets really interesting. So according to the lawyer, Wayfair Studios made the decision to proactively hire a crisis manager prior to all of the film's marketing because of Blake Lively's behavior on set. According to the lawyer, she threatened not to show up to set. She threatened not to promote the film unless all of her demands were met. And then apparently Blake Lively hired her own representative before the film's press to plant negative and completely fabricated false stories in the media.
Baldoni's legal team alleges that Blake Lively attempted to seize control of the film by leveraging her influential connections. They claim she pressured him into making significant script changes, effectively undermining his directorial authority and altering the creative vision of the project.
So as Justin sees it, as Blake was busy trying to strong-arm and take over every part of his movie, she, out of the blue, rewrote a part of the script and then gave it to Justin for him to see if he liked it and if they could put it in the movie. But she's not the writer on the movie. And then Blake told him that he should come over to her and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse and talk about that part of the script that she wrote. But when he arrived, to his surprise, her best friend Taylor Swift was there, imploring him to use Blake's script, saying it is the single best thing she's ever read in her life. And keep in mind, this is all about career advancement for Blake Lively, and Taylor Swift has been one of the people supporting her in doing that and will be pretty ruthless to keep her friend succeeding. She even let Blake Lively direct her first project ever, which was a Taylor Swift music video.
Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. And then she wanted to, ixnayed all of the wardrobe choices, because when you're making a movie about a poor woman who's suffering from domestic violence, you want her to look like she has money.
Right.
That Blake said.
That's what she did.
She looks like she has money.
Yep.
And she's dressing in florals, and then she's going on this press tour pushing her liquor line and her hair care line, because that's what women who are trying to escape with their lives are worried about.
That's what generated her negative press and led to a series of clips of her being insensitive in one way, shape, or form with other interviewers in the past. She has no one to blame but herself for that.
Johnny Depp's lawyer, Benjamin Chu, weighed in on the Blake Lively-Justin Baldoni firestorm, describing Baldoni's public legal tactics as bold but unusually aggressive. Chu warned that if tangible evidence fails to corroborate Baldoni's claims, his strategy may backfire, ultimately undermining his credibility in court. This cautionary remark signals potential downfall.
Putting aside whether there's a protective or gag order in place, as you well know, you always want to be careful as an attorney to say strident things or to go too far, because even if there's no gag order or protective order in effect, judges tend not to like to see attorneys mouthing off or becoming strident, that there's only one star in a courtroom and that's the judge. Then you have the issue of whether there is a gag order. In my experience, I've been on both sides of this issue. Judges are loath to impose protective orders or gag orders because the very nature of court proceedings is that they are open to the public. And any restriction on speech is anathema. I had one case which I thought we had a very compelling case for a gag order, and the court said, no, at least not now, not until we get closer to trial.
What do you think about the ongoing legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Do you believe the evidence supports one side more than the other? Share your thoughts in the comments below.